I do want to revisit this just for a second. This is what we did if you're following in the textbook on page 160. And after I did this, I just went to the back of the book to check myself to be sure that I'm showing you what they want me to show you. And I realized, which is par for the course with me, that for number 2, I really didn't answer the question that's in the textbook. It didn't say necessarily to write the equation in standard form. It said what are the values of A, B, and C when this equation is written in standard form. So that's sort of the same thing, but it's not exactly the same thing. So I just want to go back and clarify. For those of you who are looking at the textbook, you may be thinking she didn't answer the question, and you're right, because I didn't read it. And that's something that I'm guilty of in every situation. So what they were actually looking for is A, B, and C. And A was 3, B was 1, and C was 5. So that technically answers their question. I got to standard form and just quit, but they had asked the values of those variables. So that's what I should have done to follow through. And when I finished this number 3, I was looking on down the page, and you know I can't resist doing those. So I am just going to go back and finish this chapter for you. I think that's time well spent. If you don't need it, you can stop the video right here. I also, on the break, had one of those big cookies that's filled with buttercream frosting and some more caffeine. So I'm good to go for a while on this. But if I get shaky, you'll know why. So I'm just going to pick up back on page 160 with example number 5. And for those of you who don't have the textbook, I'll write it down. And I am going to read it this time. A line, so it's a function, it's a linear function. A line contains the points 4, 4. I did it again. 4, negative 4. And 3, 0. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay. So let's see what they told me. They gave me a point. They gave me another point. And they gave me the pattern. Unfortunately, they did not give me something. Let me not tell you. Let's go ahead and put the frame together. So here is my T-chart, and we want slope-intercept pattern. So that's going to be y equals mx plus baby b. Okay. So we have a y and we have an x. We could use either one of these. We have this first pair, or we have this second pair. We could pick either one of those. We don't have slope. And do we have baby b or not? Remember what baby b is. That's the y-intercept. That's where the line crosses the y-axis or touches the y-axis. So let's go ahead and graph. I think this is a good one to graph, because they gave me points. Let me bounce back over here and get a graph. Just one second, if you will bear with me, please. I'm just going to take a picture of that one so I don't have to. This is one of those things where you really do need graph paper, because these have to be exactly straight and exactly to scale, and I'm not getting graph paper. So let me get a picture right here. I didn't think of this before I got back on, or I would not have asked you to watch that. You can take a little bit of a break while I can feel that sugar kicking in. I know I'm not supposed to eat that stuff, but gosh, it's good. Okay, so let me take a copy of that so we don't have to keep it. Okay, so let's graph these 2 points that they gave me. They gave me 4, -4, and 3, 0. Let's just sketch this because I want you to see something. And I could just tell you, but a picture's worth 1,000 words, especially when they're my words. It's much easier just to see it than hear me ramble on about it. All right, so we have 4, -4. That means starting at origin, I will go over 4. Let me put it in with the laser pointer. Over 4 and down 4. So here. Over 4, down 4. Right there. And I'm going to go ahead and label that just because I like to see my points labeled. That's just a quirk of mine. And then over 3, up 0. So over 3, and then you don't go up at all. So we know the x-intercept. We know where this line is going to cross the x-axis, but we don't know the y-intercept. What I would really like to have seen is when the x value is 0, then I could tell you baby B. But we're going to have to work to get baby B. So let's go ahead first of all and draw a line in there just to show the linear function we're looking at. And I am going to go ahead and I call this x1 and y1, and then this x2 and y2. So we do not know baby B. We could kind of predict where it's going to cross, somewhere right there, I would say. But we can't know that without doing some math. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work to find the m. We need to know the slope, and we need to know the y-intercept, the baby B. So I'm going to start with the slope. I want to find m first, and that's a good rule of thumb. If you don't know slope, find it first. If this graph were a little more, I don't know, nice to look at, I could probably do rise over run, but they're trying to push me into using the slope formula. So let's go ahead and do that. Slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. That's the basic formula. So slope is going to be the ratio of rise to run. Y2 we said was nothing, 0, and y1 was -4. X2 was 3, and y2 was, x2 was 3, and x1 was positive 4. So 0 minus -4 is 4, and 3 minus 4 is -1. So that is going to mean that when I rise 4, I run 1. So let's see if that plays out here from these 2 points. And let me get a red pen and I'll plot this for you. So it sure does. I rise 4 and I run 1. I rise 4 and I run 1. I rise 4 and I run 1. Do you see what I'm doing? I ran out of graph. If I could rise 4 and run 1, look at what I would have. There's baby B, where that line intersects the y-axis. Now, look at these steps. I want you to think about this with me. How would you describe this stair step? First of all, we're going downstairs, and that's a good thing because slope is negative, so we better be going down the stairs. But look how steep they are. Those are stairs I don't want to go down. That's like the side of a mountain that we're climbing down. -4 is your slope. 4 divided by -1 is -4. This is a very steep negative slope. So we know M. Okay? We're getting there. We can leave y alone because that's got to be in the formula. So it's just baby B that we need to find here. I've got to figure out what baby B is. And I can tell you visually it's right here. It's whatever. Let's go ahead and count on our graph. What is this point that I just drew? Well, it's over 0. It's lying on the y-axis. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's crossing the y-axis, I believe, at 12. All right, we need to prove that, though. We can't just assume because you know how my drawing looks. So we're going to have to prove mathematically what baby B is going to be. So I'm going to use slope-intercept form, which is the one we're working with. It's y equals mx plus b. Because we've already found our slope, we know that it's -4. And we can get an x and a y just by using one of those points. And I like that 3, 0. That's the point I'm going to use because y is nothing. I don't even have to worry about y. And it's 3. We also want to use that one. Well, I'm going to leave it there. So we have 0 equals -12 plus b. So if we move the 12 like we are supposed to, we will get baby B being worth 12, which we knew that. We can prove that visibly. But it's good to just prove it also with math, especially if I'm doing the drawing. So 12 is baby B, and there's my answer. I don't even have to do anything with it. Right there she be. They want us to write the equation in slope-intercept form, and that's what we have. Right there. That is the answer to example 5. Y equals -4x. Those are steep stairs going down. Plus baby B is 12. That is not an easy problem. If you understand that, you need to give yourself a very serious pat on the back. If you don't understand that, it is okay, because more practice will help. But it is a hard problem. Okay, I'm going to move on to page 161, and then I will, I'm going to stop the video and draw that graph, and then I'll come back and give you another example. I don't want to make you sit here and watch me draw it, so I'll be right back.